All right. So welcome to this morning's weekly market update. We are at the exact midpoint today, you guys. It is June 1st. So we are actually at our exact midpoint. I'm gonna wipe my camera really quick. Sure. There we go. Um, so I don't know. You could be excited, you could be a little bit like, oh my God. You could be a little bit of both, right? Because the reality is that this is it. This is your midpoint. This is time to do a checkup. All right. You need to be looking at your business and looking at everything that's going on right now and figuring out if you're not where you want to be, then what are you going to change? And the reality is, nothing changes unless you do, right? So, nothing changes in our world unless we first change. So, let's dive into our weekly market update. You guys know to be TCPA compliant, make sure that you are not, make sure that you're not calling people that are on the do not call list, right? Okay. So, up for Los Angeles County, for sale properties is up 4.7% as compared to last month. So again, remember, we're talking about the first 2 days. This is what, May 1st and 30th. And I'm sorry. Hmm, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm tripping. So this is comparing actually the very end of the month. That's okay. This is comparing month over month. And so it's actually comparing all because this started, and I thought we were going to get caught in a funky period. This is actually May 1st through the 30th compared to April 1st to the 30th, right? April, May. Yep. So that month over month comparison, right? Because this stops on a Saturday. This stops actually on Saturday. So pretty much we were up last month, 4.7% on for sale properties. That's great. And then year over year, we're up 0.8% in LA County, which I don't think we're going to see in a lot of other counties. But so far, mid year, we are up 0.8% in terms of inventory in LA County, which is great. However, you got to be hyper local because not in all areas, cities in LA County are we actually up. Solds are down 5.6% as compared to the previous month and down 3.1% as compared to the previous year, year over year at the midpoint. We're down. We're lagging the market 3.1%. Okay. So what does that tell us? That tells us we have less sales. We have less closings. There are less transactions being closed here in our market. We know that because we've been following all the news. We've been following these reports every single week, right? So we know that we are down and we're lagging the market. They actually say we're going to be about um, at the end of the year 2 million transactions down. So instead of it being 4.2 million transactions like we were last year, it's 4 million transactions. Okay, that's nationwide. So we are definitely seeing less transactions. Okay, we're definitely seeing less transactions. Pendants are down 7.4% as compared to last month and only down 0.1% as compared to last year. Okay. So we're not lagging by much here in LA County. 3.1% is not much. So we're hoping that this late spring, summertime will bring about a surge, right? All right, new listing inventory is down 16.3% as compared to last month and down 5.7% as compared to last year, right? So we are definitely seeing less new listing inventory come on the market than we did last year. Average active price is down 0.3% as compared to last month and down 4.2% as compared to last year. Okay. Average sold price is down 1.2% as compared to last month and down 1.6% as compared to last year. So what is that saying? On average, sellers in LA County are asking 4.2% less than they did last year, and they are receiving 1.6% less than they did last year. Okay, guys. So that's a definitely a bit of a difference, right? Now 1.6% in terms of sold is not that much. And the reality is things are down just a little bit. We are seeing a little bit of price compression, if you will, because we have interest rates, we have inflation, we have the war going on, right? Oil prices, all those things that are happening right now cause interest rates to be going up a little bit more. We expected them to be going the opposite direction, which then would have brought about more buyers in the market, right? We're not seeing that right now because interest rates are a little bit more elevated, even though they are still lesser than they were last year, which is crazy. But it's still higher in the sixes than we want to be, and that the consumer wants to be. The consumer feels a certain way when interest rates are in the upper sixes, lower sevens. They get really apprehensive and they want to step back from the market versus jumping in. Okay, which what then means that properties are going to sit on the market a little bit longer, and so forth. Now, here in LA County, we are at 3.5 months of inventory. Okay, we know what that means. That means that we're still considered a seller's market, right? That's 6.1% higher than it was last month and 5.3% higher than it was last year. Last year, we were at 3.7 months of inventory, currently 3.9 months of inventory. So we're knocking on the door of that neutral, normal market. However, we haven't gotten there yet. Okay, we have not gotten there yet. We're still sitting at 3.9 months of inventory, which still technically is definitely a seller's market. And so in some areas in LA County, you are going to see a legit seller's market, meaning you're going to see 3 months, 2.5 months of inventory. And then in some areas, you're going to see it be more of a normal to buyer's market, right? There's more inventory than there is demand. That's what that means. And so you'll have to be hyper local to know which market you're actually in, depending on the area, right? Because some areas are just in demand, right? They just can't keep up with the demand. And that's Carson. Carson right now, a lot of people want to get into Carson. So you got a lot of buyers in Carson. So my guess would be that that Carson is actually still in that seller's market. Okay. All right, average days on market is down 2.9% as compared to last month. Last month we were at 35 days on market, and now we're at 36 days on market at the end of May, and up 2.9%. If I said it opposite, forgive me. Up 2.9%. We've increased 10.8% overall. Overall, we were at 37 days on market last year, and now we're at 41 days on market. Okay, so days on market definitely climbed just a little bit. Sold versus original list price has gone up 1% in LA County. So sellers were receiving 97% of their list price last month. Currently, they're receiving 98% of their list price. Sellers are happy with 98%. You can best believe that. And then it went down year over year. So last year we were at 98%. Now sellers at 97%. Again, sellers are happy with 97% of list price. Trust me. However, they want to get 100% of their list price if they can, and they can because we can help them to achieve that if they don't overshoot. Listen to our advice, and if we do a good job on our pricing analysis. And I'm going to talk to you guys about a good opportunity coming up next week. A very high accountability session that we're having for coming up. It's called Breakthrough 160 or 120. So if you're looking to do 9 more deals in your business over the next 120 days, and this is the class that you've been waiting for, okay? It is sweeping through our organization. Every Keller Williams have been doing it. They beta tested it. And that's where they got the 9 additional deals from it. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about bringing it to our market center starting next week. All right. I just totally skipped all my slides and went right there, but I'm excited. All right. So Orange County for sale properties is up 6.5% as compared to last month. So a little bit more inventory came on the market last month than previous. And then overall, though, we're down 2.5%, right? As compared to Los Angeles County, you saw we were up slightly on for sale properties, but in Orange County, we're actually down. Sold properties are down 5.9% as compared to last month and down 1.4% as compared to last year. So you see, even sold properties in Orange County, it's not a big number to overcome, right? If we do have a good push in our summer months, we could definitely overcome this deficit in Orange County. Pendants are up 0.4% as compared to last month and up 0.8% as compared to last year. That's a good sign. New listing inventory is down 21% as compared to last month and down 7.2% as compared to last year. So just not a lot of inventory coming on the market. Average active price has gone down 2.6% as compared to last month and down 8.3% as compared to last year. So that's really interesting that sellers in Orange County on average are asking 8.3% less than they did last year, guys. However, look at this. They're selling for, they're closing for 2.3% higher than they did last year, as opposed to LA County, who's closing for 2% lower than they did last year. In Orange County, they're going for 2.3% higher than they did last year. Okay, so that's a good sign for Orange County, but we kind of expect that in Orange County. Why? Because they have less inventory than most other counties. Right? They've been inventory deficient for quite some time now. So we expect their sold prices probably to be elevated a little bit because there's more demand in Orange County than there is supply in some of those areas. Okay. Months of inventory has gone up 8.9%. So you see here, these numbers support what I just said. We're looking at a seller's market in Orange County. There's only 2.4 months of inventory currently in Orange County, right? There's no change as is concerned from last year. Last year, we were at 2.7 months of inventory, currently 2.7 months of inventory, right? So no change. We're looking at a seller's market. Anywhere between 0 to 4 months is a seller's market. 4 to 6 months is your normal market, and 6 months and beyond, you get into your buyer's market. Okay. All right. Oh, no, I didn't talk about this. Average days on market is 3.3% higher than it was last month. Last month, we're at 30 days on market, currently 31 days on market, and a 16.1% increase as compared to last year. Last year, we're at 31 days on market, currently 36 days on market. Sold versus original list price. This is interesting. Sellers were receiving 97% of list price last month. Currently, in May, 92% of list price. So sellers had to make a correction in May in Orange County. Now, overall, a 2.1% decrease. Last year, we were at 97% of list price, currently 95% of list price. Okay, sellers are receiving 95% of list price. So we really want to take a look at that and see if you're a listing agent in Orange County, your sellers, depending on how they price their property, it sounds like to me these sellers are getting 95% of their list price, which means that they're putting it out there a little bit higher than they should, and then having to bring it down and having to negotiate, right? Because they're getting 5% less than their 100% of list price, right? Now, are sellers still happy with that? Absolutely, they're going to be happy with that. Depending on their pricing strategy, right? If they priced it at the price that they really thought that they should get, then of course they're going to be disappointed. But if they were one of those sellers that were out there kind of fishing and they got a little bit lesser of an offer, then that's probably right up their price, right up their alley, right? My strategy, just not that you asked, but since I am the facilitator, I'm telling it to you anyway. My strategy is to price it right. I do not like to overprice listings. Now, will I take an overpriced listing if it's in an area that I want to be in? I typically will do that with the understanding that we're going to have to negotiate down if that property does not sell or get any action right in the first couple of weeks, because that's the hottest time that a property is on the market. So let's see what we got. Danila, LOL. Yes, girl, you know me. All right, let's go. Riverside County, here we go. So Riverside County for sale properties is up 0.5% as compared to last month and down 7.6% as compared to last year. So just not a lot of inventory, just not as much inventory as last year across almost all the counties. Solds are gone down 7.7% as compared to last month and 5.6% overall as compared to last year. So that's a little bit larger of a deficit than we've seen in both the other counties, Orange and LA County. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on that. Hopefully, be able to make up some of that ground here in our late summer push. Um, Especially since people move a lot in the summer and people are still moving out to the IE because it is still more affordable option, right? Than certain places in LA County and certain places in Orange County, right? Your IE Riverside County and San Bernardino County just give you more bang for your buck and is more affordable. But I will say the prices have gone up, right? All right. Pendants are up 6% as compared to last month and up 2.6% as compared to last year. Okay. Um, New listing inventory has gone down 16.4% as compared to last month and and gone down 9.3% as compared to last year. So typically in Riverside and San Bernardino County, we actually normally see new listing inventory kind of rising because they have a lot more land, they have a lot more new listings coming on the market, a new development, if you will. And yet we are down even more in Riverside County than we were in Orange and LA County. And that's because some builders are not building right now. They're releasing the inventory that they already had, but they are not huge on developing right now because why? Because their costs have gone up so much. Costs have definitely gone up so much. Not only the cost for the materials, right, because of the tariffs and so forth, but also cost of labor has gone up. Unfortunately, some of the effects of of ICE being out there, messing with our labor pool, our contractors, right? And I have heard this from several people, developers. I've heard it from developers, investors. Just this weekend, I had a conversation, and one of the guys was telling me that one of my investors was saying his crew that normally would go out and flip his properties has taken a hit because of ICE and because of, them being a little bit afraid to be out there. Yeah, it's crazy though. So definitely that impacts our industry. Okay. Average active price has gone down 1.5% as compared to last month and down 0.4% as compared to last year. So in Riverside County, sellers are asking 0.4% less than they did last year. Okay. Not a lot at all. And average sold price is the same. So they haven't even experienced any appreciation or depreciation as compared to last year. So average sold price 732,000 in Riverside County. Okay, zero change from last year. Months of inventory has gone up 5.9% as compared to last month. Last month we're at 3.4 months of inventory, currently 3.6 months of inventory at the end of May. And then a 2.7% decrease as compared to last year. Last year, we're at 3.8 months of inventory, currently 3.7 months of inventory. Not a big change. And we're still in Riverside County, we're still in a seller's market. Okay. Now, I will tell you guys, earlier in the year, we were closer to the buyer's market in Riverside County and in San Bernardino County. What ended up happening is the war, right? We ended up going into a war. We ended up demand slowed. People putting their homes on the market slowed, right? A lot of things, it really slowed our whole entire market down. We were actually moving in the right direction, but with everything that's going on, we kind of everything got slowed down because of all the uncertainty in our kind of what they call geopolitical arena. Okay. That does impact our economy, right? It's not as if it doesn't impact our economy. It certainly impacts our economy, right? Average days on market in Riverside County, no change as compared to last month. Last month we were at 51 days and we're still at 51 days. A 7.8% increase as compared to last year. Last year we were at 51 days on market, currently 55 days on market. Sold versus original list price has gone down 1% as compared to last month. Last month, sellers are receiving 96% of their list price, currently 95% of their list price. And then no change as compared to last year. Last year, sellers are receiving 96% of their list price and currently receiving 96% of their list price. Okay, so very much so stable in terms of pricing. San Bernardino County. San Bernardino County, for sale properties has gone up 4.7% as compared to last month and down 9.4% as compared to last year. So definitely we've seen a hit in inventory in San Bernardino County. I think that might be our largest deficit in terms of inventory. Okay. Solds are down 5.7% as compared to last month and only down 2.8% as compared to last year. So that's good. We don't have sold properties have gone down 2.8%. But again, just like in LA and Orange County, this is a smaller deficit to overcome, right? These summer months could definitely push us over the top, and we could end up at if you will, ground zero with sold properties. Pendants are down 1.2% as compared to last month and up 0.8% as compared to last year. It's a good sign, right? All right, new listings are down 14.2% as compared to last month and down 10.1% as compared to last year. So definitely new listing inventory and existing listing inventory is lesser than it was last year. And so I think it's the greatest deficit out of all the counties, San Bernardino County. Average active price has no change. Okay, so no change as compared to last month. 650,000 is the average active price in San Bernardino County. A 1.7% decrease as compared to last year. Last year, we were at 661,000, currently 650,000. Average sold price has gone up 0.3% as compared to last year, and down 1% as compared to, up 0.3% as compared to last month and down 1% as compared to last year. So on average, although sellers are asking 1.7% less than they did last year, they're receiving 1% less than they did last year. Okay, just a small deficit. Okay. Months of inventory. We are at 8% increase over last month. Last month, we were at 3.7 months of inventory, currently 4 months of inventory. So as you can see, San Bernardino County, guys, we are in currently a normal market in San Bernardino County. So that's a 6.6% decrease as compared to last year. Last year, it was 4.5 months of inventory, currently 4.2 months of inventory. So we're at that threshold. We're at the very beginning stages of a normal market. What that means is typically you're going to see one house for sale, one offer, right? A buyer, a seller, they're equal. And we know all things are never really equal, but you're not going to see a bunch of competition. Right, you shouldn't be in competition with a bunch of other offers typically. Now, if you're in a hot area, you probably still will be in competition with other buyers. But all things being equal, there's a little bit more equity in this market in San Bernardino, where sellers and buyers are going to be are going to go hand in hand. It does mean though that you do have to start thinking about sellers being more aggressive, right? They've got to have their house show ready. They've got to be accessible so that their house can be shown when buyers are available, right? They've got to be willing to more than likely even make concessions and price their property right. Okay. They can't be super aggressive on pricing because again, this is not that kind of market. We're moving into a normal market. A normal market means stable, right? Okay. It's not like aggressive sellers market, aggressive buyers market. There's stability in that normal market, right? All right. Average days on market is gone down 11.8%. So last month we were at 51 days, currently 45 days. Overall, it's gone up 12.5% overall year over year. So last year at this time we were at 48 days on market, currently 54 days on market. Okay. Sold versus original list price has gone down 1%. Last month, we were at 98% of list price, currently 97% of list price. And then no change as compared to last year. So sellers were receiving 97% of the list price last year. It's the same now. Okay. All right. We have made it through our weekly market update. What any questions you guys have for me? Any questions? All right, let's go to our upcoming events. We do have the group coaching today. We have Conversations in Real Play Tuesdays and Thursdays with Eileen and Diana. We also have Dial for Dollars. I don't have the updated flyer, but it is this Tuesday, tomorrow at 2 p.m. So definitely you want to be there with Victor. And then on Wednesday morning, we are halfway there. This is going to be a live webinar that we're going to have in-house. And this is at 11 p.m. our time. This is going to be really cool because, again, you guys, we're at the half mark. This is the half mark, the halfway mark. And we really do need to be talking about how you are going to adjust your business. What are you going to do now that you are halfway there? What are you going to do to make sure that your second half is better than your first half, right? And a lot of it is mindset and actions. It goes hand in hand. Mindset and actions. What are you going to do? This webinar is for you. It's going to take you through some exercises on how to adjust. Then, of course, we have Martha on Wednesday doing her tech workshop. We have Ed is actually going to be on Thursday. I don't think he's in on Wednesday, but he's in on Thursday talking about, he's got a couple of topics. The AVID, our agent AVID. Our AVID is your agent visual inspection disclosure. Okay. All right. Then we have our regional tech workshop. On Friday, we do have our Jorge has his 9:30 class, right? And then we do have a special, and it's invite only. So if you didn't get a phone call from me or the front desk, it is invite only. It is Top Producer Mastermind. Okay. So that is on Friday with Rich Rector at 11. Then next week, starting next week, we are introducing Breakthrough 120. You guys have been asking for high accountability training where you're going to have to check in every day. So the first 5 days of Breakthrough 120 is 4 hours of instruction, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. every single day, Monday through Friday. Okay. And so that means that my class on Monday, I'm actually either going to do it at 9 a.m. Or I'm just going to record it. But we will be doing Breakthrough 120 starting on Monday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., June 8th through the 12th. Okay. We're going to be talking about all the lead generation strategies. We're going to be building our plan for our second half. We're going to be talking about being goal-based, results-focused. And here's the registration right here, guys. Make sure you register. You guys, this class has been tested throughout Keller Williams throughout the nation. And the results were that the attendees who fully committed to this class signed 9 agreements in 120 days. Okay? That's huge. That's huge. 9 agreements in 120 days. So this is only the first 5 days of the program, guys. We are going to be here in the market center every single day, 2 hours a day, lead generating. And we have different leaders who are going to be coming in and out to help facilitate. And that's every day. Okay? For 120 days, and after which we will give the results. But if you're committed to this, trust, you are going to hit your goal. Okay. We are, again, we talk a lot about what we want, but we got to put our money where our mouth is. You got to get in here and you got to start doing the work. You got to start making the phone calls. You got to be committed to just the process. Forget about the results. Be committed to the process. Okay. So these first 5 days of instruction is very intense, 4 hours. We're going to have a little lunch break in between, but it's going to be a working lunch. Lunch is going to be served. Okay. Let's go. You guys know we do have Ignite still going on, so you're welcome to it. Participate in Ignite. This is the link if you want to do it. It's Tuesdays at 6:30. We've got our real estate referral program with Airbnb. The real estate, the MREA podcast. It's the psychology of content that attracts clients. So if you guys are looking at doing content creation, right, then what should that look like? Just don't get out there haphazardly. Have a strategy. And this is where you can learn a little bit more about that from, I think her name is, Jess. So learn a little bit more about how to attract people and stop the scroll, right, in your socials. And then the One Thing podcast, the isolation of high achievers, why entrepreneurs feel lonely and how to fix it. I like that. So if this is something that you struggle with, because real estate can be a lonely journey if you don't have a squad, if you don't have a team, right? So, or a family like ours, right? But you got to plug in. And that's what a lot of people don't do. They don't plug in. So if you don't plug in, then you might get lost in the shuffle. But if you plug in, you can definitely have a family and a team around you. And this is a great podcast to listen to. We got Mega Camp coming up August 17th through the 20th. Everybody, you know what? Come on board. You got to invest in yourself, right? That's what you're going to learn from the top of the top in the industry. Simon Sinek was just signed up as the keynote speaker at Mega Camp. Super excited to hear him. Industry news, investor purchases hit a 6-year low. You guys, this is what I was just talking about. So investors have pulled back on their purchases. Why? Because costs have soared for them. And because the economy has a lot of uncertainty, right? And so really seeing all these things, it's causing them to slow down in investing, slow down in fixing and flipping, because their costs have gone up, and it is reducing their profit margin, right? If the cost to build has gone up and it's reducing their profit margin, it makes them question if they want to go put their money in other investment vehicles. Now, does it mean that they're not out there? Yes, they are out there. It just means that they're not out there as plentiful as they used to be, and we're hitting a 6-year low. Okay. Now, traditional home buyers, it's the same thing for them too. It's just a different reason that they've slowed down, right? Now, what's causing the slowdown? Like we talked about, the rise of inflation, the ongoing war in Iran, and the market instability, right? So the fact that the market is slowing down right now, that there's less inventory out there, that buyers are sitting on the fence. I mean, if an investor purchases a property to flip, he needs buyers, right? That's what they need. They need buyers out there. And if buyers are sitting on the fence, then it lessens their ability and their confidence in their ability to flip a property and have it sell for top dollar. And you know that's what investors do, right? When they flip a property, sometimes they slap paint on a pig and they expect it to sell for $100,000 more than what they bought it for, and they only put in 10, right? Well, they know that's not going to happen right now. Not in this particular market right now. It would have probably happened a few years ago, but not now, right? They really have to put in some money into that thing. And then now, because buyers are more hesitant, they got to be careful that it's in the right area, that it's got the right amenities around it, right? Because you still may have buyers be hesitant. Okay. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. Any questions? No questions? Who is going to be here for Breakthrough 120? Am I going to get some commits on Breakthrough 120? It's a whole week. I know some of you guys cannot commit, but I would love for you to commit to it.
I would love to.
You would love to, Robert? Is that a yes?
Where you going to?
You can't really give me a hardcore commitment yet?
No, yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna do my best.
Okay, well, do your best. That's all I can ask. And if you can't come every day, come the days that you can come. Okay. You'll definitely get something out of it. Come the days that you absolutely can be there. All right, guys, have a good one. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Connie.